What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a Q&A video. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. Drop a like if you do. Don't forget to ask questions on my Instagram. Keep an eye on my Instagram stories. I'll post whenever I'm asking Q&A questions. If you guys don't want your username shown, you can specify that, but my Instagram will be linked in the description. Follow that. Keep an eye on the stories if you want to ask some questions, because we're no longer doing them in the YouTube comments. We're doing a new format now. So either way, with that out of the way, let's dive right into it. First question here from Drew Poo. What is the worst combination of drugs to take at the same time? I'd have to say I didn't really do much prep work for any of these questions, so I kind of got to think a little bit. But I definitely say it's got to be... Oh, man. I'm trying to think of theoreticals, because in my experience, I haven't really done any like super unusual or crazy drug combos. So I'm trying to think of like something that sounds like it would be shit. I feel like, oh man, I feel like Xanax and like, I feel like Xanax and like cocaine would be retarded. Like I feel like that would just suck ass. Like, just railing some lines and popping a couple bars. I feel like that would be terrible. So, that's the best answer I can really give, because I haven't had any terrible combos. But either way, thanks for the question. Next question here from the Jared Gray. Any tips for getting off Xanax? I think I've covered this in a prior Q&A, but it was a super long time ago. So, I felt like I'd bring it up again either way. So, first and foremost, the thing I want to say is, I know a lot of you motherfuckers out there watching this video probably have an issue with Xans, alright? Because I know my sub base, and y'all are some crazy sons of bitches, okay? So, first and foremost, I never encourage the use of any of the things I talk about on this channel. However, with Xanax, it's a different case. Because normally when someone asks me for advice on how to slow down or quit a drug, typically, I'll give them some fairly generic response that they could get on Google, because realistically, that is the way to do it. However, with Xanax, it's a little different. With Xans, I went through a phase of taking a lot of them, and it kind of sucked to stop. And what helped me, at least, if it's available for you to do, I found that smoking bud really helped me whenever I was craving. Not literally every time I was craving a Xan, just smoking, because then you just got a new problem on your hands. But, I found that if I would just wake up in the morning and just smoke a bowl or something, I'd feel pretty calm and not really think about, popping bars or any of that stuff. And, I wouldn't really feel the need to. So, bud was really effective for me trying to wean myself off of it, because one of the things you have to be careful with in terms of Xanax is you can't just cold turkey it. Like, it's one of those drugs where you have to be very careful about how you quit. Like, you can't just say, all right, I'm done after you've been taking like 6 bars a day. It's not going to play out well. So you have to either wean yourself off or kind of give yourself a crutch with like weed, or nicotine helps too. Really anything that can kind of alter your mind while you're craving Xans, And I'm not saying alter your mind like, oh yeah, go pop Klonopins now. I'm saying like nicotine, even just drinking a soda or some shit, something to stimulate you or do something to your mind to take it off of Xans, particularly weed really, really helped me. It really did. I honestly can't stress that enough. I don't think I would have been able to quit as easily as I did if it weren't for, being able to smoke and that helping me. So, personally, that's my best tip. I know Xans are pretty difficult to get off of. I didn't want to give a generic, like, Google response like, oh, go to rehab, because, well, that's fucking common sense. But either way, thanks for the question there, Jared. Next question from Harrison. Do you think people who sell harder drugs like heroin and meth should get executed? No. No, dude. I don't think any drug dealer should get executed for the most part. And here's why. With meth and heroin and shit, heroin in particular, right? People, for the most part, I'd say like 90-something% of people, don't just start with heroin, right? Like, you don't just, the first opiate that a heroin addict tries is probably not going to be heroin, right? It's going to be some sort of prescription shit that you can get at the hospital, like Hydros, Perks, and Narcos, whatever the fuck you want to get. Something along those lines. Those lead into heroin. Very few people just jump straight to heroin. It's people who go to the hospital and get injuries and shit and are prescribed painkillers, they're then kind of fucked, and that's for the most part. Sometimes, it is people who do the painkillers recreationally, but even then, most people don't jump straight to heroin, even if the whole process for them is recreational. They never get a prescription for opiates. Still, they don't just jump straight to heroin, If the people producing the opiates and shit that are getting people hooked on the opiates and then leading them into heroin aren't getting in trouble, then why are the dudes selling the heroin getting in trouble when no one's going straight to them? It don't make no sense. It don't add up. I don't agree with it. I don't like the idea of all these hard drug dealers going to jail. If they got guns and they're shooting people and hurting people, yeah. But if they're just selling drugs and doing a business kind of thing, yeah, maybe the product is fucked and it's a terrible thing. But at the same time, that person's just going to go find it somewhere else anyways. Like, if you're a heroin junkie, you're not just going to have one heroin plug and when he's dry, you're just fucked. That's not how it works. So, yeah, I don't think they should be executed or anywhere near that. Next question here from Gangat06. Would you ever consider going to college for any major? Not really, honestly. I've never been into school. I don't know what it is, but I just can't focus. I can't do school. And it's not the ADD. It's not like I can't focus on school. Literally, like my ADD's too bad. It's like I just can't interest myself. And when I'm not interested in something, I just can't bring myself to do it. Like, if I don't want to do something, I'm probably not going to do it. So, when it came to school, I would be okay in class and stuff. Like, I'd behave myself for the most part. I'd, do okay on my tests and stuff. I wasn't like disrupting the class. I was just kind of chilling. But when I got home, I wouldn't do shit. I wouldn't do fuck all for homework or papers or projects or anything. So, I don't think I could do college. Not only does it not interest me, but I don't want to take the financial risk to just end up hating it anyways. So either way, thank you for the question there. Next question from Young Addy. Top 3 rappers at the moment. All right. Number 1, Lil Nar, 110%. Number 2, G Herbo. I think he's always on my list when people ask this. And number 3, we're going to be putting Kid Trunks on there because I've been listening to him lately. And he's been great. So, Lil Nar, G Herbo, Kid Trunks. That's my top 3 draft picks. Thanks for the question there. Next question from Cam Willingham. What are your opinions on BO4? What games are you excited for this year? All right, BO4, I'm going to be honest. I don't really care anymore. It's been like 5 years, 6 years since I've truly cared about Call of Duty. And BO3 kind of sealed the deal for me because everyone was sucking off BO3 as this spectacular game. But I couldn't get into the jetpacking really. It's fun, but I don't like jetpacking. And now Boots on the Ground sucks dick too because World War II was trash. So I don't really have much hope. I have no interest in I know there isn't jetpacking in BO4, but there's still all that weird movement shit. I just miss the old COD. I miss the MW2. Throw me a fucking ACR with a thermal scope and let me just call kids terrible, terrible cuss words in party chat all day or game chat. I miss that. Now, half the aspect of COD is social. That was the fun of it, and no one talks anymore in Call of Duty, so it's just fucking boring. In terms of other games I'm excited for this year, I'd say Red Dead 2 and Fallout are probably the only 2 games that I really, really give a shit about. Other than that, I'm not I don't buy a ton of games every year, new ones. I just kind of buy random games that I feel like playing, whether they're old or new. So, I don't know. I'm not a hype kind of guy. So Fallout, I'm for sure copping because Fallout's different. I'm hype as fuck. I always loved Fallout. And Red Dead, I'm probably going to cop just because it's a Rockstar game. So, Red Dead 2, kind of got to have it. Red Dead 1 was great too. But either way, those are the only 2 games for this year that I really care about. So, next question here from Joe Zilberman. Were you ever scared before trying a drug, and did that ever stop you from doing something? Yeah, before acid, I think I've answered this before a long time ago as well, but either way, fuck it, we recovering it. When I first tried acid going into it, the first time I was pretty scared, I'm not going to lie. I was after everything I'd heard about acid and all this, crazy shit, and if you guys have seen that South Park episode where Kenny was tripping balls, I just that's kind of how I pictured it almost. I was like, yo, it's going to be fucking batshit insane. And I was kind of worried because I was like, yo, this lasts a long time. What if I have a bad time? But I ended up loving it. So in terms of being scared ever stopping me from something, not really, no. I don't know. I feel like I did pretty much every drug I wanted to do. So it's like if I was offered something beyond that, it wasn't really like a thing of like, oh, I'm scared. It was a thing of like, yeah, I don't really want that, you know? So yeah, not really. I don't think being scared's ever really interfered with like doing a substance. Next question here from Brandon. How long did it take you to learn to roll? It took me a pretty long time to learn to roll like an actual decent blunt. But to roll like a functional, usable blunt that you just want to face on your own time, it didn't take me that long. And here's the thing, and the best piece of advice I can give to everybody trying to roll. When I first started smoking, I had no idea how to roll a blunt. I remember I would ask my friends to show me, right? I thought that would teach me. I'd be like, oh, teach me how to roll a blunt. Well, none of that shit ever helped, right? Like, watching someone roll a blunt doesn't teach you shit. You got to do it. You got to feel it. You got to feel how to tuck and, just work with it, handle it very delicately, make sure the weed doesn't fall out, It's something that you really got to teach yourself. So what I did to learn was I went up to the gas station, just bought a bunch of fucking packs of Swishers, and just started gutting blunts and rolling. I didn't care if I fucked it up. If I ruined the blunt, I just pull the weed out and just roll another one. And once it was finally smokable, then I'd smoke it. And that was like my policy for a couple days. I was like, if I can't roll a smokable blunt, then I don't get to smoke weed. So I was just grinding. I was just sitting there rolling blunts. I was just learning. And that's the best way to do it. I didn't watch a video guide while I was doing it. I just kind of thought about it, and I was like, well, you split it open, and you just got to put shit in and seal the paper back together. How hard could it be? And conceptually, that's kind of what it is. There's a lot more to it, but you kind of learn through experience. So, yeah, best way to do it, just, do it yourself. That's how I did it. It didn't take me long either. I mean, to roll functional one, a couple days. Final question from Jason Capes. Would you rather get 6 pounds of weed or 6 pounds of dollar bills? All right, I'm going to hit y'all with the facts real quick. A dollar bill weighs a gram, right? If you guys have ever calibrated a scale, you know that. If you use coins, you're a fucking idiot. Dollar bill weighs a gram. Best way to calibrate a scale. So 6 pounds of dollar bills. Every pound is 454 grams. So that's $454 per P. I don't even have to continue with the math to tell you that the weed is more worth it. That's like a little over $2,500 in cash if it's all singles. Or if it's weed, that's a lot more than $2,500. You could flip one of those P's for 2.5. So yeah, I'll take the 6 pounds of weed. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's all the questions we got for today. Hope you guys did enjoy this Q&A. Drop a like if you did. Also, don't forget to hit up my Instagram. Keep an eye on my story for the Q&As. Ask some questions. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.